Okay, we are live. It is Sunday Night Live, and we're gonna talk about resolutions again because it's so important as we come into this new year to really understand the psychology behind resolutions and what we do, why we set them, why we fail at them. Uh, in fact, I want to share with you that this show is named Stop Quitting because on January 10th, so 2 days ago, is actually called Quitter's Day because it's the day when most people quit their New Year's resolutions. Can you believe that? 10 days into the year, and most people have already completely derailed for their resolutions. So this is going to be a really great episode as we dive in and really I want to be able to help you figure out why you step away from them. Why do you set them to begin with? Why do you fail or derail or just decide that it's not worth it anymore or that you're not worth it? And then what do we need to do to make sure that we create success around this mindset? Because that's really what it is. It's a mindset that keeps us in a place of just not moving forward. We get the same thing, right? So the definition of insanity is we just keep doing the same thing over and over, and we expect a different result, and we just keep getting the same result. So if we really want to make the change, I'm going to help you understand why it is that you do what you do. Okay. So again, most of my Sunday Night Lives and my Reset Mondays this year have been about mindset and making that shift, and for good reason, because this is it's easier to grow when you understand your behaviors that keep you stuck. When you understand the behaviors that help you grow, you'll grow. When you understand the behaviors that keep you stuck, you can look at them and start to create new strategies around them that allow you to move beyond those habits that aren't serving you. So as we start this off, let's just start with the psychology about why people quit their New Year's resolutions. Now, I couldn't believe it when I've been doing this for, I don't know how many years now, 4 years now. We've been doing Reset Monday and Sunday Night Live. So it's been about 3 years, I think. And I had never heard the term Quitter's Day. I never realized that that was a day that had been dubbed for all the quitters out there. And it's interesting. So I want you to put in the comments, are you a quitter? Have you already quit your New Year's resolutions? Did you even set any? Because you knew, this is another big thing. Many people won't even set resolutions because they're like, oh, I know I'm destined to fail. So did you set New Year's resolutions? Did you quit? What is your mindset behind that? So let me know in the comments. And also, if you are new here, please subscribe. Would love for you to subscribe to the channel and get insights on health and wellness and growth in your own life. So let's talk about the mindset behind the failure of resolutions. One of the first things is we tend to set unrealistic goals. Let me get my notes over here so that I can, let's get rid of that. Put my notes here. That way I can see if somebody's jumping into the chat and have my notes in front of me here. Okay, got it. There we go. And hope I don't close out the live stream. Okay, great. Okay, so first thing is we tend to set unrealistic goals. We can get overly ambitious. Our goals can be super vague. This tends to come from, by the end of the year, we are so stressed out. We've derailed our health and our lives, so far. And we just want this like big, lofty thing. We just want to be swept in and have it just go poof and see our lives change instantaneously. And so I'm all about setting massive goals. But if you're somebody who's going to set a massive goal, you also have to understand how to get a massive goal, what it requires, the timeline, the action steps that it takes to get there. And so I think when most people set some massive goal, they just don't understand how to build the path. So you can be in point A and you can say, I want to set this massive goal, which is out here. Let's say, say you're driving to, um, let's say you're going to drive to Florida and you don't have a roadmap in front of you. Now, this is like, let's just think before GPS, old school, when we all had to have maps. But you would know, okay, I'm going to go to Florida. How do I get there? You had to take steps. I remember when I was a kid and we would take vacations and my dad, car vacations, and my dad would go to AAA and he would get the triptych. Do you guys remember the triptych? And so the triptych it was different maps at different sections of the trip that so it was like easily chunkable. So we're going to talk about having those chunked down goals. So it wasn't like one giant map of the United States. Once AAA came out with triptychs, that was a game changer for people who traveled, because now you could take this map, that was flip, right? So it was like first part of it was the first part of the trip. And as you got past that, then you went to the second part of it. And so it chunked down your trip for you so that you didn't have to try to figure out, and it highlighted the route. So you weren't having to figure out which path to take. Hey, Bill, how are you? I know. Remember the triptych? That was so fun, wasn't it? Yeah. And we always knew it was so fun. My dad, going to get the triptych. So thanks for being here. So our goals in life and what we want to do with our health and how we set these resolutions, it's just like that. We really need to start to understand. Evening chairman. Geez. I think I might need to go to bed. But we need to understand that we have to chunk down into very clear, actionable steps so that our brains don't just go haywire. It can be very overwhelming if we try to put too many things in our brains all at once. Hey, Ken, how are you? Nice to see you. So think about that. When you set that goal, don't just set the goal, I want to lose 20 pounds. What is it? What's it going to require? How many days a week are you going to be moving your body? Are you going to work on sleep? Are you going to work on your food habits? What is it that's going to get you there? If just movement and exercise, maybe you're somebody who already does exercise, but you want to do something a little bit more, or maybe you want to challenge yourself and do, run a marathon, or just walk, be able to walk 3 to 4 miles. It can be a small goal. It can be a big goal, but either way, let's just say it's a small goal. Let's just say you want to be able to run 3 miles. That's a pretty small goal. But how are you going to do that? You're not just going to get up if you've never run or you don't run much. You can't just get up and go run 3 miles, because your knees, your hips, your ankles, your body's going to hate you. So what would you actually do in order to do that? I used to run a lot. That is no longer in my realm of things that I want to do. My body does not like running. So I couldn't tell you the first thing, but I would say you got to get up and walk first. So again, like, what's it going to take? What are these steps? So think about that. Don't set unrealistic goals. You can set, I could say you could set unrealistic goals. You could set big, giant goals, as long as you're willing to take the action steps and create the action steps, filling in those blanks to be able to get you from point A to point B. Because what happens if the goal is too big and the action steps aren't there, the brain can really struggle to prioritize to get you to where you want to be. And then that's how we can just shut things off and not want to go forward, not want to see something through. So unrealistic goals are one of the first reasons that people quit. The second thing is lack of immediate reward. How about that, right? In this instant gratification world that we live in, we want it now. We want it right now. I want to drop 10 pounds right now. I want to be able to run a marathon right now. It is just not realistic. I don't know how we've gotten into such a convenient, instant gratification society, but it is not serving us for long-term health. We have somehow spiraled that into that our health should be instant gratification as well. It's not at all. Instant gratification is I want a cookie, I'm going to eat a cookie, and wow, that tasted really good, right? That's instant gratification. But now I got to work that cookie off. It's going to take me like a lot longer to work that cookie off than it did to eat the cookie. However, the more I exercise and take care of myself and I eat that cookie once in a great while, it's not as great of an impact. So imagine that you have the ability to create this armor for your health and your life so that you can do things like that that are not going to be as damaging in the long run for you. So when you think about immediate rewards, understand, or when you think about setting that goal, understand that it is going to take time. And then the immediate reward comes from, okay, let's say you want to run 3 miles. And let's say now you got to set a goal. Like, how long will it take you to be able to run 3 miles? Let's just say 2 months. I don't know. I don't remember how long. I mean, yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, so let's just say 2 months. You set a goal for 2 months. You're going to be able to run 3 miles straight through. And now what happens is you need to chunk that down. Okay, 3 months, that's 12 weeks. So now break it down into a month or a week and then a day. And now that's your instant gratification. So let's say you went out today and those 3 miles, you walked two of them and you were able to run 1 mile. And then the next week you were able to, let's say, walk to run one, but maybe in those 2 miles you did like a little bit of walking and a little bit of running, or you did some circuit training. So you can start to see how the instant gratification can come from the big goal if you chunk it down in small enough chunks and make it a day and a week goal. So does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up in the comments if that makes sense to you. Also, if you are here, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that you like the video. Number 3, why people fail. All or nothing mindset. So this is one of those people, we just think that if we take one misstep, it's a complete failure. And we have to stop beating ourselves up. We have to give ourselves some grace for the things that we do in life. You're not a failure if you decide you're going to, eat a cookie. You've been eating really well for 4 or 5 days and you eat a cookie. We're doing Detox with the Doc, which starts tomorrow. And Ken is in our group, so Ken's going to be doing that with us. But let's say 4 days in, somebody decides they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm like picking on cookies. But let's say somebody's like, I have to have a cookie, and they eat a cookie. I don't care. You know what I mean? I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's you. Like, you have to be the one to make that decision. Is that going to be worth it for you? And if you do, if there was something, if you had a super stressful day and you just need, you're like, oh my God, I'm having a massive sugar craving and I just need something. And you take that bite, I promise you, after 5 days of detoxing, that is going to be the best damn cookie you've ever eaten. Your taste buds just start to wake up. So I say that just because then you can say, wow, I didn't realize how desensitized I was. And that's part of our, the failure piece of it. I'm going to talk about that in a second, is what that does to us mentally. What do we learn from it? But in this all or nothing mindset, don't think of that as a complete failure. I want you to think of it as like, it's just a recalibration. So it's an opportunity for you to assess, why did you do that? What happened? What was going on in your life? And it allows you to then become more tapped into things that trigger you. Because frankly, most of us walk around like it's a zombie apocalypse. We're just walking around in this unconscious state, not caring for ourselves, eating blindly, eating too much junk, not taking care of ourselves. We just get into this like fog, and we need to start paying attention to our habits, the things that we're doing, and the things that we're doing that are causing damage to ourselves and our lives. So don't think of it as an all or nothing. Oh, ate something bad. Oh my God, it blew my diet. So now I'm just going to completely derail and go off the rails now for several days following that. I have literally I've worked with and it's mostly women that do this. Women tend to really beat themselves up. We're in this, it's this constant constant struggle of weight loss for women. And so then what happens is they go to a grandson's birthday party or a granddaughter's birthday party, and they eat a piece of cake and they feel so guilty. There is so much guilt around food. And these are toxic traits that we have. And these are from traumas, like some deep seated traumas. So I don't say that to judge or criticize. I say that because I want you to be just so aware that this is what you do, that these are your habits. Because once you start to become aware that you damage yourself based on your own levels of stress and trauma, that's not congruent to a good, healthy life. So mindset is huge. So this whole all or nothing thing has to we've got to set that aside. So Ken says, I would go to 3 or 4 days without having a Coca-Cola. When I do have one, it's so sweet. Right. Yes. So you're going to go 10 days without a Coke, Ken. Yeah. Our taste buds just get completely dampened. And when we start to remove all this garbage from our lives, it's amazing how ultra sensitive you become to the things that don't serve your body. So the fourth thing that why people quit their New Year's resolutions is we haven't taken enough time to actually integrate the habit into our lives. So think about that. Habits take time, right? They say 21 days. I don't really know. I know that's probably roughly about what it takes. There's something psychological around that takes about 3 weeks to form a habit. But but we what happens when we start to adopt they're not habits, let's say new actions or just new things. We want them to be habits. And think about this. When you brush your teeth, I hope you brush your teeth at night and in the morning, that's not a habit. Did you know that? It's not a habit because it's something you do every day. That is not a habit. A habit, once it's something you do every day, it's part of your healthcare routine. It's just part of your healthcare routine. So it becomes routine versus being an actual habit. Now there's habits like, smoking and drinking and overeating. There's those kinds of things. But when we're talking about like good things integrated into your lives, if you think about it just as it's just my routine, it becomes easier than it's one less habit to try to implement. It's like less things you have to do. So I think your brain, it's easier to process when you're just, this is just part of your life, part of your lifestyle. So understand that having those habits is going to take some time. Now, I'm going to talk about what to do, how to get beyond this insufficient habit formation. So we're, not allowing ourselves the time to get there. But I'll talk about habit stacking here in a minute. But you have to think about this: is how do we anchor? We take these new things that we want to do and we don't anchor them to anything. And so it's really hard to stick with them. So, and then the fifth thing why people quit their resolutions is just emotional pressures. So, hold on, Bentley's at the door. Hi, little boy. Oh my goodness. It's snowing out there. What are you doing out there, huh? Okay. All right. Um, so these emotional drivers. So what that means is it you that wants to make the change, or is it somebody else that's telling you you need to make the change? Oftentimes, oh, again, gosh, I'll go back to my dad. My dad would go to the doctor. Doctor would always tell him he needed to lose weight or he needed to start exercising. And and he just never would. He just wasn't a guy who liked exercising, and his knees always hurt. I don't think he actually had any actual knee injuries, but we called it the roughened knees. He just had terrible, terrible arthritis in his knees. And so then what he would do is he would go find another doctor who would tell him that his knees were so bad that he shouldn't exercise. And it used to drive me nuts. I was like, just move your body. And my dad he was a child of the Depression, and there were 7, 8 kids in his family, siblings, right? And so you had to eat, like you had to eat whatever was there. And everything was home cooked, but like my grandmother would cook 50 pounds of flour worth of bread every week, and it was gone. I mean, because bread was cheap, or 50 pounds of flour worth of bread. But anyway, I say that to say that no one could ever get my dad to eat healthy. They could not get him to start exercising. This is so common that if someone else is telling you, and I guess Bill, I'll tell Bill's story. Bill's wife was addicted to Diet Pepsi, I think. I just forget which one it is. I think it's Diet Pepsi or Pepsi, one of the two. And never drank water ever. And even though, Bill and his kids, I mean, everybody really tried to get her to change that. And she just wouldn't. So when other people are telling you that you need to do this, if you don't believe it for yourself, you're not going to do it. So you have to figure out, what is the why? What is the thing that's going to help you to be able to get there? If you are, think about this, you're at your grandchild's wedding, and you can be one of two people. I've told this story multiple times over the past few years on this show. And so think about, which person do you want to be? You can be the grandparent that is sitting in a chair, maybe a wheelchair, maybe with an oxygen tank, who can't get up and dance, who just has to sit and watch everybody dance because you have just not taken care of yourself. And it's become so detrimental that now you have no vitality. The quality of life is so poor, and you have to sit and just watch from the sidelines. Or you could be like my mom. And, my mom was 84, I think, 82, maybe 3. I forgot. She was 86 when she passed away. And then, I think she was 83 or 84 when my nephew got married. And my mom danced all night. I mean, she did not leave that dance floor. So which one do you want to be? Hey, P Squared, how are you? Nice to see you. So that's part of, if you go back to the emotional driver, what's the emotional piece that's going to that's going to make you want to tap into this, to have something better in the long run, to know that it is going to take time, to know that this is a long game. This is your life, and it is never going to be perfect. We really just want progress. We're not here to ask for perfection. We're just here looking for progress so that you can live a life that doesn't set you on the sidelines. So, all right. So I have some tactical ways, some strategies for us to be able to get back on track and stick with our goals. The first thing is, hi, handsome boy. The first thing is micro resolutions. So this goes back up to when I talked about unrealistic goals, in that if we can take the goal, so again, it could be unrealistic if you don't chunk it down. But if you can take your resolution, take your goal, what you want to do, and break it down into smaller chunks, daily actions, like daily simple actions. So let's say you okay, we'll use this want to run 3 miles thing, but you don't really know how to, you've never run, you're not walking much. So you get up and you walk 5 minutes a day, or you get up and you walk from one end of the house to the next, back into your workstation, and you do that 20 times a day. Or if you're working from an office, you go walk down the hall and back, or go up and down a couple flights of stairs. Integrating movement into your life, and set an alarm. We all have a phone. So set an alarm to make you get up and move from your desk, so that, or just do something different, so that now these little chunks that you start to implement, they're small wins, but they build confidence and they build momentum. And that's what you want. You want to feel like you're actually gaining some traction. So think about what you can do on a more of a micro level that's going to start to stack, that's going to help you start to feel, like you say, confident and start to gain momentum, which then brings us into actual habit stacking. So what is habit stacking? This little boy, he is so darn cute. He's so cute. Sorry, I digress. So habit stacking is when you want to really start to integrate something new into your life, but you're not necessarily sure how to do it. So if you can attach it to something that you already do. Most of us, we get up in the morning, we go to the kitchen, we make coffee. We have a cup of coffee. So let's say you're trying to get more water into your life, which everyone should be getting more water into your life. You go into the kitchen and you can make your coffee, but before you drink your coffee, you have to drink, this is about 12 ounces. So I've got about 3 of these in me before I actually start drinking coffee. I really chug the water in the morning, especially during these winter days. It's dry. I feel dehydrated throughout the night. I feel dehydrated when I wake up in the morning. So you can drink a giant glass of water when you first get up in the morning and attach it to the coffee. Okay. Because you should be drinking extra coffee or extra water anyway if you drink coffee, because coffee is actually a diuretic. So it does flush the water from your body. So you want to be making sure that you're having more water in the morning. So attach that to that. Let's say that also, or you want to do, we brush our teeth, right? So brush your teeth during the day. Maybe you brush your teeth in the morning. Maybe that can be when you do some morning stretches. Take 5 minutes and do morning stretches. Maybe at nighttime, after you brush your teeth, you decide that's when you want to attach journaling to it. So start to think about habit stacking in a way of you're taking something new and attaching it to something you already do. And then it becomes much easier to start to integrate. So what this does is this actually creates leverage in your brain, and it starts to create new neural pathways. And then it starts to become integrated into your actual daily life. So habit stacking is really, really effective when you want to add something new. The third thing is focus on identity, not outcomes. So this one is like, we tend to say, I want to lose. Everybody wants to lose weight. Everybody wants to lose weight. But then we go deeper. What's the why? So identify why you want to lose weight. Are you achy? Do your joints ache? Are you inflamed? Do you need more energy? Do you want to be more flexible? Do you want to be able to, have better movement? Do you have a health issue that if you have some kind of metabolic issue, diabetes or heart disease, will losing weight help you with that, help you feel better? Do you just not feel good how you look? Like what will it be? Is it energy? Maybe it's affecting your sleep. Maybe you have sleep apnea. Like you want to get rid of the CPAP machine. So start to think about what's the identity of that thing. Like, if go as deep as you can with, like let's say smoking or vaping. I want to quit smoking. I want to quit vaping. Okay. You got to go into the why of that. I mean, those are highly addictive habits. So why? Because, did you have a health scare? Are you just afraid of an impending health scare? Do you know what it's going to do long term? Do you want to be around for your kids, your grandkids? Like, go into the identity of what that thing means to you. And you guys you need to be writing this stuff down. Like, I know I'm saying these things, and there's a link in the notes, in the show notes, that you can go to, that if you link to that, I can send you this list of um of what to do. But you're going to have to, I've got, how many do I have here? I have 10 things here. And so you need to write this stuff down, and you need to read it. Like, you can't just listen to this and then go, okay, that makes sense, and then walk away. You're going to have to work at this, because creating new habits, again, it doesn't come easy. Creating a new lifestyle, integrating these things into your world, it requires some work. So no, there's no more excuses. Like, let's do this. So Ken says, not a smart aleck comment. I want to stay healthy just to cheese off my doctor. Yeah. Well, and then you don't have to go to your doctor. That's the whole thing, right? So stay away from the doctors, and stay away from the hospitals, or I should say, stay away from the hospitals. So anyway, yeah, if you need to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. But personally, I haven't been to a doctor in I don't know how many years, and my daughter's probably been to a pediatrician twice in her life. I think she was, let's see, the only time she was ever on any medication was when she had knee surgery. Yeah. So we live a good, healthy life. Use a lot of tinctures and supplements. So, okay. The next thing you need to be doing is reframing your setbacks. So instead of seeing a setback as a failure, start to think about a setback as feedback, right? So if we go back to, why'd you eat that cookie? You were doing so well. What happened? You can think to yourself, yeah, I was super stressed out. My boss yelled at me, or, I don't know, God forbid, death in the family. Like, a lot of times we emotionally things that happen to us emotionally will cause us to behave in ways that are not conducive to what we want. So the more aware you can be of these behaviors, you can start to get feedback, right? Why did I do that? Or even once you get really good at it, you can start to go, God, I really want to eat that cookie. No, I'm not going to eat that cookie just because I had a stressed out day. I can take a bath, or I can drink some water. I can meditate. Like, so you can start to get good at recognizing the behaviors and the triggers, so that you don't even do the thing. Okay. Or you're less likely to do the thing. No, you just went out. You're fine. Don't look at me like that. Okay. Just came in. Okay. So reframe your setbacks. Like, look at that as like you're collecting data about yourself. What worked, what didn't, how can I adjust this? What do I need to do better next time? What do I need to do more of or less of? Anchor your goals to your core values. So think about what it's going to do. This is sort of a recurring theme, in that, weight loss isn't just weight loss, but what is the benefit you're going to gain? What is the overall thing? How active are you going to be able to live in your life? And then layering joy, if we could just be so, just exercise joy. Joy is like the top of the energy scale. It's joy is healing. It just brings such joy to people's lives. So if you can layer joy into your habits. So think about, if you're cleaning the house, turn on some music, sing a song. If you, like, I have a water bottle, and I have stickers on my water bottle that have positive messages on them. So think about that, like surrounding yourself with positive messages, thinking about moments in your life that brought you joy. That's another thing too, is like using those triggers that say, gosh, when I was in this place, or when I was with this person, or when we did this thing and had this experience, that felt so joyful. Put yourself back there, visualize what that was, and then feel the feelings all over again, because your brain cannot tell the difference between a real event and one vividly imagined. And so that is so powerful. I watched this video the other day. If you guys get a chance to look it up, let me see if I can find it here. And it is so cool. It's Blue Angels visualization. This is so cool. I'm going to drop this link in here. So this is the Blue Angels. They do this. Their pre-flight briefing, and they actually go through. They're sitting in a conference room, and they go through the whole flight. They go through the practice, and they're visualizing it. It's so cool as a team. So really cool. So visualizing those things, visualizing how did that feel? What was the moment? Put yourself back in those emotional feelings of positivity, and that will help you grow as well. And that's the visual triggers is number 7. Use those visual reminders. So 6 and 7 are very similar. So 6 is going to be, making sure that you're integrating joyful moments, but then feeling them, visualizing them in 7, and taking yourself back to that place. And that's very powerful. It can really calm your nervous system. So if you are having, some stress in your life, it's a great way to overcome that and move on to something positive. Weekly reset rituals. Now this one, I love this one. So I want you to think about this before I roll this number 8 out. Think about this. You are at work. You have meetings at work. You have meetings for meetings. When you're in business, you're always looking at how can we improve productivity? How are sales? How can we get more sales? What's the bottom line? How can we increase profits? How can we decrease overhead? We're constantly strategizing when it comes to business, when it comes to our work environment and productivity. So how come we don't do this with ourselves? You should literally be having a weekly staff meeting with yourself to say what worked this week, what didn't, how can we strategize better for next week, what needs to happen to continue to move me in a forward direction. I promise you, if you start having Sunday staff meetings with yourself, your world will change dramatically. This is one of the things that I do on Sundays when I journal is I lay out for the week what I'd like to see for the week. And I'm still having my daily, my daily writings in there, but I will lay out for the week. And one of the things that I did notice about when I'm writing these things out is I'm really top heavy on the things I want to see for business. So I have to start working in more things about me personally, what I'd like to see, right? So, for my personal life, whether it's, relationships or my fitness or, where would I like to scale up from my health and my activity level. So, I have some other things, some goals that I'd like to outline. In fact, I have a goal. I'm not going to lay it out for you guys just yet, but, it's a 1 year goal. And so I'm actually going to be, it's a fitness goal, but I'm going to have to hire a coach because I don't know how to get there. Right. So I want to, get into a process with somebody who can help lay out the plan for me. And that's where I'm here for you guys. So again, you can hit that link in the show notes. And if you need going into the next one, accountability and community, this is where we're going to find it. So we want to make sure that we have accountability groups, accountability partners. I'm here every Sunday for you guys. So this is your accountability. This is your community. You jump in here, you come in here, you hear great messages about how you can improve upon your health and optimize your world. And there's accountability. I'm going to show up here and I'm going to be here for you. And then, we have the community that shows up in the chat every week. I'm so grateful for. So it's really great. And then of course the chat you guys all, you guys are all become friends and comment, and we know each other, and it's just really cool. So having accountability and community is a huge, huge factor when it comes to anything in life. They have it's centenarians and the blue zone, so people who live to 100, people who have the greatest longevity in the blue zones around the world. ar- Around the world. I have no idea what that was. Um, it's one of the biggest pillars of their longevity is community, and so we have to build our community. So make sure you have a good, strong community around you, and then of course accountability. People who will just be honest and real with you, and hopefully those people who are being honest and real with you and want the best for you, that you ultimately take that in and decide that you want the best for yourself too. So thank you for being here in my community and helping me grow here. So, and then number 10, last one, is we want to celebrate progress. So not just results. So again, like, if you set a goal and you don't quite hit it, let's say I set a goal. I want to earn $1 million. Let's say I get to 700,000. Did I fail? Do you think I failed? I think I did pretty good, right? So think about that. Is progress. If you set that goal, you're moving towards something. You've got a goalpost that's sitting out there that you are moving towards. So progress. That's why having that journal, writing things down, using a whiteboard, whatever you need to use. It's so critical that you see your progress, because you can look back on it and go, oh, wow, I really did. Oh my gosh, I accomplished all of that. This is, my life is pretty, goes pretty quickly. And so it's important for me to make sure that I am writing down my progress. I am writing down the things the little steps that moved me in a forward direction. I wrote this down a few days ago. I had a new patient last week, and the woman called, and hold on, let me let the dog out, and I'll tell you in a second. Okay, so she called. Her name sounded really familiar when she called, and she wanted to send her son in for chiropractic care. And and I had asked her. I said, why? I said, how did you hear about my office? And she said, oh, I met you a few years ago, and she said you were an absolute godsend. And I was like, what? Like what? I had to write that down, because so I helped her and her family. Her kids were going to college, and I had written some waivers for her kids to not get certain medical interventions, and she was able to send her kids off and not get these medical interventions. And she said, oh my God, you were a godsend. And so it's things like that. I had to write that down, because there's another thing that I always say, that you never know how far reaching something you may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of those tomorrow. And that was actually, I can't take credit for that. That was BJ Palmer, who was the son of Dee Dee Palmer, who discovered chiropractic care. And he said that. And that's happened so many times in my life, where somebody has come back and said something to me, and I was like, I was just doing me. I was just doing what I knew was right. So, we go through, this is how you should be, stepping into your life as well. Just do with intention, do with joy, do with love for yourself, love for your family. And you will be so amazed at what can come out of it. So, and P Squared says, no fail. And switch gears. Right. Exactly. So yeah, there's no failing. We're just learning. We're making progress. We're 3 steps forward, 1 step back, sometimes 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. and it's a matter of, yeah, you can't beat yourself up. You have to give yourself some grace every single day. Um, yes, I know Bentley always wins, doesn't he? So, yeah. Uh, so learn from it. So, like I said, if you want access to the document that I put together that laid out all of those plans, just go ahead and hit the link in the comments, and I will be happy to send that to you. And like I say, it's just so critical that you write this stuff down. If you want better, greater optimization with your health, I mean, it works for other areas. It works for your business as well, but it will work for your relationships. Literally, what I laid out there, you can do that for anything, anything that you would really like to up level and improve in your life. You can use those rules. Um, so yes, so don't be a quitter, right? So hopefully all of you made it past Quitter's Day and you are here today. And if you haven't even started yet, okay, so that could be a good strategy that you don't even start your resolution until like, January 10th, because that's when most people have quit. But I'll tell you, the yoga studio is packed with people. There's new people there, but give it a month, people will filter out. The gym hasn't been as busy as I thought it would be, but yeah, I mean that's my routine, right? It's not a habit, it's a routine. I go to the gym twice a week, I go to yoga twice a week, and then I try to walk in between there. And so one of the things is I'm really trying to work is getting one more day at the gym. So, and I think I'm going to have to if I want to accomplish the physical goals that I'm looking to accomplish. So, but yeah, it's just restructuring. I just have to restructure some things, and I'm not going to talk myself out of it. I just have to work it out, and then always be open to knowing that that there's an answer, and there's a way, and there's a strategy, and that we often tend to just make excuses, and we have to stop the excuses. I get so tired of the excuses. It's um I come at my patients with just pure love for wanting them to be so much better, and yet it's just one excuse after the other. I can't do this because of that, and my spouse this and that, and blah blah, and it's like, just stop the excuses and just do it. So I think recognizing when you're making excuses, that's a big one too, and that'll go, that's in the failure piece, right? Where it's like, okay, recognize that if you fail, if you go eat that cookie, don't make an excuse for it, but just make an observation. Observe why you behave a certain way, observe why you do certain things. And the more you can really embrace those, what you do, why you do it, the more easily you'll be able to then re-strategize, take your ship into a different direction. So yeah. Okay, so did you guys like that? Give me a thumbs up if you got some good value out of that. Please make sure that you hit the thumbs up on the way out, and that would be awesome if you shared this out as well. I would love that. Also, just a quick announcement is Dr. Erica and we spent Friday together, and we put together our new channel. So we're super excited. So Chiropractic is Sexy has its own channel, you guys. So I'm going to drop that here. I'm going to ask you guys to go and let's get out of here. Go and subscribe. Let me put the link here. See if I can. And oh my gosh, I had to move videos over. It was easier than I thought it would be, but it also was quite the challenge. I was cursing at YouTube for a little while because I was like, it shouldn't be this difficult. But yeah, we got everything built out. We still got a few more things to do, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to go live in on this channel on Thursday. So, okay, so here we go. There we go. Okay, everybody go there and make sure you subscribe to Chiropractic is Sexy. And we're super excited about it. So cannot wait. All right, you guys, that is about it. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate your comments and coming in on the chat, and just full of gratitude for all of you being here and being with me for these last couple of years. Because these are also some of my goals, as I'm having to chunk it down, and so I can continue to grow this channel. So re-strategizing, making sure that I bring you as much value as possible. So, okay, everybody, thanks so much. Have an amazing evening. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's Reset Monday. All right, talk to you soon. See you, bye.